Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. Today is Collection Mania Monday, and last week we finished off, well, last week didn't exist to me because I had no internet, but the week before we finished off with the Cadrim colored pencils. So we're going to start in the D's today, and we have the Deli colored pencils here. This is a 72 set of an oil-based colored pencil. These are very, very smooth. They are numbered, but they're not named. So I do have a swatch sheet here. So of course it starts with, whites and yellows, into our skin tones, into our reds. Now this one here, as far as I'm concerned, should be over here, but that's okay. Into our pinks, into our magenta colors, into our purples, our red violet colors, and then of course into blues, into our sea colors. It actually has some really nice sea colors, into our greens, and then excuse me, into our browns. Now these reds, they're in every excuse me, they're in every set in the brown area, and they're terracottas and the mahogany type colors. And then of course we've got our grays, and we have a really good selection of grays. So there's a light gray, a medium gray, and a dark gray, but there's also a blue gray and a silver gray as well as the two blacks, the really dark black and the medium black. And then of course silver and gold are metallics. So there's a really good selection of colors in this 72 set. So don't be afraid to go with a 72 set. I know there are so many colors out there and so many sets with, 120, 150, 180, 200 colors. And they can be really intimidating. They can be very, very confusing and really intimidating. So if you're just starting out, don't hesitate to start out with a 72 set or a 48 set. There's plenty of colors in those sets, and most companies that do create a smaller set does do its best to make sure that there's at least a medium, dark, and light of each color family. So I want to throw that out there just to make sure that you guys know that there's no need to get yourself stuck on being, I have to have the biggest set available, because you don't. All right, I'm switching you over to the other camera here. I'm just going to move you a little bit because you're not able to see that. And I'm just going to move you in. So this is the one that we did with the Cadrim colored pencils. And as you can see, it did quite well on this cardstock. And of course, we've got everything from the Amazon Basics down to the Cadrims on this page. Now we're going to start all over again on the next page, and we're going to go up here to this wonderful little butterfly here, and we're going to move this over a little bit so that you guys can see what I'm doing. Now we're going to do different colors, like this one here we did with the Amazon Basics, and we did blues and pinks and purples. And we're going to go the opposite direction this time, and we're going to use our oranges and our yellows and our greens. So I'm going to take this one here, if I can get it out of my case. My case is being stubborn. Now, this case is a 300 pencil case. And I love my 300 pencil cases. They're a little bit large, but they are workable. Now I'm going to actually slip my cutting board underneath this because the padding that I have on my desk is a little soft and I need a little bit harder of a surface to color on. So this one here is number 104, and we're just going to color in the area. Hopefully you can see that. I'm not going to, I'm trying not to have to adjust the camera, but it seems to be a little out of focus, which is irritating because I focused everything and got everything all set up before I came in. So I'm going to fix that. Yeah, for some reason the autofocus turned itself back on. I don't know why it does that. So let's turn that off. And then we're going to zoom in. There we go. Sometimes this program just decides to do its own thing, and it drives me crazy. But also I've got a new computer, so it's a little bit off that way too. So with having a new computer, sometimes it decides that it's going to do its own thing when it wants to do it. There you go. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. So I'm just putting in a bit of the yellow. In the wings of this little dragonfly. Now we're going to take an orange, and we're going to start off with a light orange. I need to grab my swatch sheet here so that I know which one I'm grabbing. So we're going to go with 107, which is a transition color between yellow and orange. That's 106. It's got a little more orange in it than yellow, but it's still a very bright orangey yellow color. And we're just going to go into the very edge of the yellow and come out just a little bit, just so that we can transition that orange in so it's not a stark, hard point. And I'm going to cover up most of this yellow orange color with orange. It's just where it combines. I wanted it to be more yellow than orange so that when it combines, it transitions properly. And I know this is a little messy because I'm not as close and I don't have my light on. So, because my light blinds you all. And I don't want to blind y'all. All right, so now we're going to use orange. And I need number 12, 112. And I've already pre-sharpened all of these. And I'm doing the whole area orange, even though I'm going to actually put a little bit of red at the tip of this wing. So that it shows a little better. And I've gone out of the lines. Oh no. And same with this area. I cover the whole area, and then I'm going to take a red orange and go over it in the very edge of it. Now I'm going to change this a little bit because you're not getting the proper coloring. There you go. And as you can see, I haven't reached all the way to the edge because I'm worried about going over the edge. These are a really good thick cord pencil, and they are really good to sharpen. They stay sharpened really nicely, which is awesome. And they are very, very smooth. I don't have any scratch at all. And this is on 67-pound cardstock, as I normally color on. Now I'm going to take a bit of a reddy orange. And this is 115, which is, yeah, I think I'll go with 114 instead. 115 is a little bit too much red. And I'm just going to put a little bit in the tips here. And down this center here. I hope everybody had a really good week last week. I am so sorry that I ended up offline for so long. Thankfully, it is all fixed now from what they say. So hopefully I will stay online now and we won't have that happen again. Hopefully everybody in Texas is doing well. I know that it was a bad one here, but it was really bad there. I know a lot of my friends right now have very little um, power and water and all those other services that, are a necessity in life. And hopefully they all get through it. So what I'm doing here is I'm just taking the yellow, which is the lightest color I used, and blending those colors all together. Now you can do this with a blending pencil. Sometimes I find that using the lightest color that you use gives you more of a cohesive blend and brightens those other colors up a little bit. Now, if you find that you don't want to darken those colors or change those colors with the lighter color that you've used, definitely use a blender pencil. Okay. Now we're going to throw a monkey wrench into this, and we're going to do the insides of these wings in greens. So I need 148, which is right here, and needs to be sharpened. So I'm going to sharpen that. I'm not going to do it on the desk, I promise. I'm going to do it on the other desk. And 143. That's the other one I need. There it is. And it also needs a bit of a sharpen. And I have used these. They are fairly new to me. I haven't used them a lot, but I do find that they are a very lovely smooth pencil that covers just beautifully. I don't need to use a whole lot of pressure. I don't need to use a whole lot of blending either. So I'm just going to cover these with the lighter of the two. And this is number 148 if you have your Deli pencils already. I don't know, these do come on and off of Amazon often. Sometimes they show the Delis on my link, and sometimes they show the Starjoy. Now, I have the Starjoy 120s. I've had this Starjoy 72s that come in the wrap, and I like them both. I really do enjoy the Starjoy pencils. Sorry about that, guys. Went completely out of scene for you. But they are definitely not the exact same thing as these Delis. I do know that the Delis can be purchased on other sites such as AliExpress, but every once in a while they'll have them on Amazon, and I'll keep an eye out for them. Of course, I will leave the link so that if they do bring them back into stock, you can definitely keep checking the link. If they're out of stock, what will happen is the link will take you to a 72 set of the Starjoys, which is, like I said, they're still a good pencil, but they are definitely different than these Delis. And they do complement each other quite well, but and they do layer beautifully, which is one of my biggest pet peeves, is when you are using a paper that you know very well. And with some sets, you can get, multiple layers. And then other sets, you can only get one layer because it just covers it without giving the ability. It just mashes all that tooth down. But these don't seem to do that, so. And you will notice that, especially going through my collection, that a lot of mine don't do that. Pencil, the one thing I will tell you about my collection is it's only contains the pencils I enjoy, because pencils I don't enjoy or don't work for me or don't work for the way that I color, I have a tendency to get rid of and send back. So I don't keep pencils that I'm not going to use. If I find that there's a pencil that I just don't like the feel of, or I don't like the way it colors, or it doesn't color the way I would expect a pencil to color on what I color on, I will send it back. So just so you know, anything in my collection is in my collection because I enjoy coloring with it. I'm just going to dust that off. The only thing that I will warn you about with these is to make sure that you have your duster brush handy, because they do flake off a little bit. Not enough that it's, irritating, but enough that if you rub your hand across it, just going to try to erase that little bit that I went over the line. There we go. And this is an electric eraser that somebody talked me into, and I absolutely love it. And it's the Art Echo. It is a rechargeable eraser, and it comes with the larger erasers as well as really tiny erasers. And I haven't changed the eraser out of it yet to the smaller one, which I was intending on yesterday, but I just never got to. So the inside here, last time we did them in pinks and purples. So this time we're going to do them in purples and blues. So I'm going to grab 127, which should be this one. And it is. I'm getting good. And we're going to grab 136, which should be this one. No, it's 135. Yeah, good enough. So we're going to use these two colors. And, they don't look like they'll go together, but they do. Stay. I'm going to give this a quick sharpen. Because the purple was a little dull. Okay, so I'm going to cover all of this with the blue. And I'm just doing it very lightly because I'm going to add the purple on top of it. Now you can do this either which way, either with the purple on top or the blue on top. I find the blue is a lighter color, so it's not going to dominate that purple as much. Now my color's off again because that doesn't look like blue to me that you guys are seeing. And I'm just bringing it out about halfway. And I'm just going to add a little tiny bit there, very light. So when I go back over the blue, I can blend it together. And I'm just going to do the edge in this area here in the purple. Do apologize about the coloring. I will figure it out one of these days. I know it's just a constant back and forth fiddle, and it just drives me crazy. That's a little better. It might be my saturation's off. No. There. It was the white balance was on. Like I said, sometimes it's just a little bit of fiddling with this and fiddling with that. Now, with it being a new computer, all of the settings reset itself. So any settings that I already had cleared up, for some reason, went back on. And don't know why that was saying I was running off of my Wi-Fi, off of my internet from my phone. So hopefully I wasn't. And it's just for some reason being fidgety, because that's what I was using the last time I used the program. All right, so we've got the purple on the wings here, as well as the blue. Now I'm going to take the blue again, and I'm just going to go into that area that I set aside, that I extended that purple out a bit. I'm not going all the way down into the purple, I'm just going into that area, and then bringing the blue back out and blending that together. So that it looks like it's just gradually blending out into a different tone. Like that. All right, so there's our blues. We've got blue, green, orange, yellow, red, and we're going to do his body in a pink and a turquoise, I think. So let's find a nice pink, like this one, and then we'll find a nice turquoise color, like 140, which is this one here. And of course, you know, I always choose the one that needs to be sharpened. But at least you know they sharpen well, because I haven't gone, oh, poop, because I've broken it. So they are sharpening quite well. They are fairly well centered. I have not had any troubles with these pencils on whether or not they're centered. So that's really, really good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just color his body and down his end here, and color the whole thing. And then I'm just going to take this green, this sea green color, and I'm just going to bring the two together a little bit. If you're not really careful with how bright you put the pink over top of that sea green, it could turn into a purple. So make sure that if you don't want that hue, the undertone of the pink, just make sure that you don't put the pink down in the area that you're going to be going over it with the sea green. I don't mind the pink hue, so and I'm just going to blend into it. And move it around a bit. There, we have a tie-dye dragonfly. Now we're going to take our greens again, and we're going to do the leaves and the curlicues. And then I'll switch you over to the other camera so you can see better what I've done. Because for some reason, because that one is a stagnant camera, it doesn't change. It's always the same. It just seems to hold the color better where I want it, where it's supposed to be, the true color. Well, I didn't do his antennae, so I gotta do his antennae too. And of course, you could do this in any color. It doesn't have to be greens. I have a thing about doing leaves in different colors. It's out of my comfort zone. I try to stay in my comfort zone sometimes a little too much. And we're just going to get these little leaves all done up here. And the vines. Aha, I did it without making a mess. Because, yeah, sometimes my eyes just don't like seeing lines. Let's just throw that on the floor. I am so glad I have carpet under my chair, under my desk, because I would break so many pencils if I didn't. I am always dropping them. All right, so let's pick that up before I forget that it's down there or the dog runs off with it. She thinks they're sticks. And we'll run off with them and say, ooh, this is mine now. So we're going to take this red, I guess this one. Yeah. And we're just going to fill in these little spots here. There we go. And we're going to actually use the gold. And we're going to do his antenna gold. There we go. Now we're going to give him a background. Nice sunny day background. And I am just doing this very, very rough. It's not perfect in any way for a background. Just filling in around him a bit. And I could easily, grab my ruler and section all of these pictures off, which would probably make it easier to do the backgrounds. But, yeah. I didn't think of it until now. Sometimes I think of things very logically, and then sometimes I just don't think. So let's turn that brightness down. Maybe that's the problem. a little better. So that you can at least see the background. And like I said, I'll switch you over to the other camera after I'm done so that you can see the colors a little bit better. Now this is a very, very pale blue, so it may not show very well because you know how cameras deal with pale colors, they just wash them out. But I love pale colors, so I color a lot with pale colors. I actually stepped out of my comfort zone recently and colored a background in gray. I don't usually do that. And I think it turned out okay. You know how we all are though. We are all our own worst enemy and our own worst critic when it comes to our own work. And sometimes, you know, I have to have somebody kick me in the butt and say, you're being too hard on yourself. Luckily, I have lots of friends that are willing to do that. And kick me in the butt, that is. You know, I don't know about the too hard on yourself, but kick me in the butt. Okay. So we've given it a background. And we've done a very pretty oranges and yellows and blues and greens and purples and pinks. And of course, gold. So these are all the colors and reds and all the colors that we have used on this little tiny, tiny spot. Isn't that amazing? So many colors on just such a small little spot. So we've used 15 colors on this little tiny picture. Some of them, be it, you know, just little tiny spots, but you know, people look at your art when you're done coloring it and go, oh, that must not have taken you very long because you've done it in different tones of one color or different areas in different tones of one color or different shades of one color, and then blended it all beautifully together. And people look at it going, oh, maybe one or two colors, where in actuality it's like 30. Drives me crazy sometimes because I do that. It's like, oh, I could do that. How did you get that color? Oh, well, I need this and this and this and this. Just going to add a little bit more yellow here because I didn't get all the way to the edge. That's better. All right, so let's switch you on over to the other camera so that you can see this a little bit better. There. So that gives you a much better idea of what colors we've used. And these are the Deli colored pencils. They are a 72 pencil set. They are an oil-based pencil, and you know, they are very nice. They have the Deli name on them. And I also have a set of watercolor pencils done by this company as well. And both are extremely well pigmented and have a wonderful, wonderful smoothness to them. And of course, you know, this is a picture out of Joanna Bashford's Flourish. And that is a free publication that Joanna put out for at the start of COVID last year. So I will leave a link for that as well as on her website. So you can, of course, you know, join her and keep an eye on what's going on with her. I'll put the link from what I when I purchased the Deli, and hopefully they'll be back in stock. Um, I haven't seen them back in stock recently, but I do check all the time to see if I can get them back in stock. Like I said, they are also available on AliExpress. So if you have an AliExpress account or want to go to the AliExpress website and make an account and take a look on there, they have all different sets on there as well as the watercolor set. And just a little tip, they do have the Fuyi, the 200 pencil set that I bought and showcased recently on the website or on the channel. They do have that 200 set available on there as well. You just have to search for it using 200 color pencil set. I tried searching for the name Fuyi, Fuxi, as well as the OBOS. OBOS, yes. And it didn't come up, but as soon as I searched for the 200, I scrolled down a little bit and it was right there. They've also got a watercolor set as well. But that is it for now, guys. I thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that I was able to give you some information on the Deli colored pencils that you may not have already had. Also, just to show you a step in my collection. I do have many, 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 many colored pencils, and this is just one of many. And it's one I enjoy. I really do like these pencils. So I'm going to take a look and see what we're going to do next week. I do believe it's the Derwent, but I want to make sure before I say so. Because, yeah, I don't know all the D's that I have. So the next one after the Deli is the Derwent Color Soft. And then we have the Chroma Flow. And I just got the Chroma Flows in, and oh my God, are they ever nice. But we will be doing those as well as another colored pencil that went off the market called Diamond Driven. And we will be looking at those as well. If they ever bring those back onto the market, I need to buy a new set. Because I'm finding that a lot of my favorite colors or favorite pencils that I used to color with when I first started coloring went off the market, and I'm not able to find them anymore. And the Diamond Driven, they weren't the best colored pencil, but it was a colored pencil that I really enjoyed learning how to color with. So for nostalgic reasons, I don't use them very often because I don't want them to die. But I will show them to you and I will color with them. All right, guys, of course, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Like the video if you enjoyed it. It always makes me feel good to see the likes. And leave me a comment if you have any information that I didn't already state about the Deli colored pencils that you would like to know, or that I don't know. Of course, I try to answer all of the questions or all of the comments. So please leave me a comment. It also boosts my what is the word? Esteem. It boosts my esteem when you guys like and comment my videos. If you're not already a subscriber to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Ring the bell. I do put out a video every day. Of course, tomorrow will be Tips and Tricks Tuesday, and we will be taking a look at some more watercolor things because it's still February, and that is the month of the aquatics. So we will be doing water things throughout the month. And of course, if you're um, not a member of our Facebook group and want to join us over in Facebook, feel free to do so. Just make sure that you fill out the application form. The link is in the About section of every video. Of Oh, I almost forgot the most important disclaimer of all. All of the links listed below, if they are an Amazon link, are my affiliate links. I am now an Amazon affiliate, so every time you click on one of my Amazon links, it does give me a couple of cents from the purchase that you have made, and all of those funds go towards special things for the channel, as well as providing different content. So please, please, please hit your links. Hit my links. If you're going to purchase a set of Deli pencils, please hit the Deli pencil link and purchase from the link so that it does give me a little bit of income for the channel. Last but not least whatsoever, of course, is remember to always, always relax, color, and people, please stay safe out there. It is a really crazy world right now, and I hope that every one of you is staying as safe as possible. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.